When people hear about the fall of Rome, the same images usually come to mind. Barbarians at the gates, collapsing legions, palace intrigues. But the truth is often much more boring and much more uncomfortable. Empires rarely collapse from the outside. More often, they fall apart from within. And one of the most subtle and destructive forces behind that internal collapse is almost always money. Rome fell in exactly this way, not only because of wars and not simply because of bad rulers. It fell because its money lost its value. And this story is far closer to the world we live in today than we might like to admit. One of the things that kept Rome standing for so long was the silver denarius. When it was first minted, it was made of nearly pure silver, and the entire population trusted it. Soldiers were paid with it, merchants traded with it, and ordinary people stored their savings in it. The denarius was more than a coin. It was a small key to trust in Rome itself. But maintaining a vast empire was never cheap. Armies, roads, wars, everything required money. Over time, expenses grew and taxes became insufficient. Emperors were left with few choices: either raise taxes on the population or tamper with the currency. Most chose to tamper with the currency. The silver content of the denarius was slowly reduced. At first, almost no one noticed. Then everyone did. What had once been a heavy, shiny coin became lighter, duller, and less valuable. The name stayed the same. The appearance stayed similar, but the value did not. The result, as expected, was inflation. Prices rose. Even though people earned more money, they could buy less with it. Soldiers demanded higher pay. Merchants began to lose trust in the currency. Some demanded gold. Others returned to barter. Money circulated more slowly and trade began to break down. The state tried to fix the situation and only made it worse. It printed more money and attempted to force prices to stay low. You cannot sell above this price, the laws declared. But when money itself is worthless, laws cannot repair it. Black markets expanded and the official economy collapsed. Eventually, the denarius was abandoned altogether. A more reliable gold coin, the solidus, was introduced, but by then it was too late. The economic foundation of the Western Roman Empire had already rotted away. Supplying the army became difficult, trade networks fell apart, and trust disappeared. Rome did not fall in a day. It slowly unraveled. This is not a story unique to Rome. The same pattern appeared in Germany in the 1920s and in Zimbabwe in the 2000s. Different scales, but the exact same logic. Governments believed they could solve their debts by printing money. At first it seemed to work. Then control was lost. Savings evaporated, wages became meaningless, and people lost faith in the system. Are we any different today? Not really. We no longer reduce the silver in coins, but we achieve the same result through other methods. We print money, expand debt, and tell ourselves, we'll deal with it later. The currency looks the same, but purchasing power quietly disappears. The lesson, then, is not complicated. Inflation is not a natural disaster. It is a choice. And the cost is rarely paid by those who make the decisions. It is paid by ordinary people, those who live on wages, those who save, those who depend on pensions. The people of Rome never believed their wealth could become so worthless. Germans in 1913 could not imagine such a collapse. Yet it happened. Because when trust disappears, money becomes nothing more than paper or metal. Rome reminds us of this. When money breaks down, it is not only the economy that collapses, society begins to unravel as well. Trade slows, contracts lose meaning, and the state's word no longer carries weight. External enemies may deliver the final blow, but the real damage is always done from within. History does not repeat itself exactly, but the same mistakes produce the same outcomes. Rome's story is not a distant legend. If we pay attention, it is still speaking to us today.